Sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to season 2, episode 11 of The Movement.
The Movement.
I had to do it with Ali. Now, Uncle Nash wasn't ready for it. Maybe he'll be ready for it when we close the show out. But I had to do it with Ali because, as you guys can see, there's a lot of vacant seats in the building today. But it's okay because we are ready to give you guys a great show. Again, today is season 2, episode 11 of the Movement Podcast. We are officially live. We're going to kick it back old school, 80s and 90s. Going to go ahead and see what these young fellas know about the old school days. Well, at least old school for us, you know. I know for people that might be older school, looking like oh, that ain't old school. Old school is 60s, 70s, 50s. But we're going to talk about it today. We're looking forward to a great show. Going to say that we have Ali Abdullah from the Movement Podcast in the building. Yusuf's in the building as well. He's just ready to run the ad. But after we run the ad, he will be joining us. And then, of course, our guest today is Uncle Nash, a.k.a. Mr. Nashty Nash Steals and Deals, a.k.a. the cook that you need to book. All right, there you go. Yes. That's why I wanted Yusuf to be there. Shout out to Uncle Nash. We got to give him a round of applause one more time for all the deals he gives the hood. Uncle Nash be hooking everybody up with deals.
I do what I can. I try to give you a steal better than a deal. You know what I mean?
Hey, there goes. Give him a round of applause for one more time. That's his line. That's his quote. He tries to give you a steal. It's better than a deal, all right? But with that said, shout out to Uncle Nash. We have him on the show today, so he's going to be giving us stories. You know, I just want to quickly say I'm a 90s baby. But you could say I kind of grew up in 2000s because, you know, really growing up is like from like 6 to 8 years old. So we'll talk about that later. First of all, be sure to subscribe to our pages, YouTube, Oz Media 313. You got Facebook and Instagram, Motivate Me 313. You can listen to our show later under Apple and Spotify podcast, Oz Media. If you want to call in, the number is 313-306-1750. Again, 313-306-1750. Also, you can follow us on TikTok now under Oz Media. So be sure to follow us. And also be sure to support these businesses who support our podcast or our media companies. Shout out to our 4 gold sponsors, Balkan House, Hanley, Kahwa House, and BC Adhesives. We appreciate them. Yesterday, we stopped by the Balkan House restaurant because the doner kebab and the chavapi sandwich is looking way too good. So got to for sure give a shout out to the Balkan House, Yusuf. So go ahead and run that Balkan House ad. Shout out to the Balkan House.
The Balkan House Restaurant. The Balkan House Restaurant is famous for their doner kebab sandwich. But did you know that the Balkan House now serves breakfast? Did you also know that all their food is 100% halal? The Balkan House now also have 2 food trucks. So you can book your next party or event with the Balkan House on wheels. Their Hamtramck location is 3028 Kniff Street, Hamtramck, Michigan. Their Ferndale location is 314 West 9 Mile Road, Ferndale, Michigan. Again, you can book their food trucks for your next party or event. So if you're looking for a nice place to eat with friendly service and great prices, look no further than the Balkan House Restaurants.
What's a story that I told you I was doing?
Never mind.
All right, here we go. So first of all, Boom said, a.k.a. the Fry Man. Okay, that's what Boom said. You got anything you want to say or mention? And then shout out to Qamar Zindani, by the way. She said very nice. Sponsors are the best. They are great people. We appreciate them, seriously, a lot. We appreciate them a lot. But first of all, what is this situation going on right now between you and Boom, Uncle Nash? I feel like there's like a cook-off beef going on. Like, what's going on between you and Boom, man? Can we address this right now on live television? No, I'm speaking to the mic.
There's no beef. There's no controversy or anything like that. He sees what I do and he tries to sometimes copy it and imitate it. You know, he looks up to me.
Okay.
And I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
I had at one point someone I would look up to and, you know, try to, you know, do what they do because they seen the attention I was getting. And he's just doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, it looks dry when he does it, but it's okay.
Is
Oh my
Boom,
God.
first of all, I got to give a shout out to Boom, all right? Shout out to Boom.
I love you, Boom.
Yeah, we love you, Boom. But in all seriousness, Boom, rumor has it, he said that he wanted to get you in a cook-off. It didn't happen. What happened there, Uncle Nash? Is this true?
No. I had that day when it was supposed to be the burger cook-off. I mean, I had a few things I had to take care of, and I just couldn't make it. So.
All right, there you go. That answers all the questions, but we're going to get into the show now. First of all, Ali, welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man, Ali Abdullah. He's in the building today. How you feel, man? Welcome back.
Good. No, it's been
How-
a minute back in this what is it, studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's
So-
life been, man? Everything good?
Yeah.
How's school? Any big news? Anything different since the last time you've been here?
Nothing much.
Hey, hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Where you been every Saturday morning when you said you're gonna be on the movement?
Oh,
What you mean?
here we go. We're starting off the show early.
Oh, that's not my fault.
Where Ali been at, man?
Been home because
Nah, you ain't been home. I'm trying to say where you been. You kept
So
saying,
So rumor has it he's been
yeah, he's been ditching. He's been
Ditching?
saying, hey, I gotta
What?
go do the movement, and then he's
not on the show.
What? Oh no, that's a lie, bro.
Where you
Who
been?
else is gonna take
We've
me
been
to
having a
this?
show every week.
Bro,
I don't know what you're
what?
talking about.
Oh man,
That's a lie.
Hey, what's going on, man? Yusuf, how you been, man? You know, Yusuf's usually helping out with a lot of things behind the scenes, but, you know, for this show, he likes to be, you know, giving his 2 cents in here. So shout out to Yusuf. Welcome back. Nice to have you sitting here sharing your opinions on things, Yusuf.
Yeah, man, it's great to be here. It's great to have Ali back. It's great to have one of my favorite uncles back as well.
You only got a couple uncles. Rank them right now, Yusuf.
I'm only his favorite when he wants something.
Oh my.
It's not true, man. You know.
I got every text message. What's our favorite uncle? Oh, I'm like, oh
Hey.
what do you need? He's like, well, see, what happened was.
And then the message comes, or the question, or the asking thing. But shout out to Yusuf's in the building. Like I said, Uncle's in the building. So today we're going to talk about 80s and 90s. We're going to bring it back old school. So, you know, we had to bring back the old school fella, Uncle Nash. You know, for people that don't know, you know, Uncle Nash, first of all, has style. All right, always did, right? Can we confirm that?
I try to be.
Growing up,
Nice.
Yes.
growing up, where were you at in the style list? Were you up there? Or were you, you know, came from Yemen? It was a little tough, a little bit.
No, top of the game. Like, I dress, and people also took some of my styles. So you know, it's just,
Yeah, Uncle Nash is just trendsetter with the style. I'm not gonna lie, he do be dressing clean. Shout out to Uncle Nash. Half these jerseys on the walls from Uncle Nash, so we appreciate him. We had to go raid his closet. But yeah, with that said, we're gonna talk about that. You know, favorite shows during the 80s and 90s, and then we got the questions game. Then we got the 4-bar/word of the day, which is luddite. All right, for those that don't know, luddite refers to someone who is opposed to change, and especially to technology change. And then some weekend motivation. Uncle Nash, you got that ready too, or no?
yeah.
All right, you got that weekend motivation ready. So, I'm going to start off with you, Ali. What are some stories you may have heard from your parents, brothers, sisters, anybody in your family that may have been born in the 80s or 90s about the 80s and 90s? It could be just one story, Ali. Anything that maybe it crosses your mind or you can think of.
I don't know. I remember when he used to get bullied. He was telling me.
In school?
No, it was on the way back to school, where I think
I didn't get bullied. I told him about an incident where I got jumped after school.
Okay.
I wasn't
Okay.
bullied.
So that's a memory that you remember from old school
yes.
days?
Yeah, I guess.
Any kind of like scene or situation, like in terms of like clothing, or I mean, we're gonna talk about clothes and stuff
No.
like that, but like nothing else. Okay, Yusuf, you got any stories or situations, anything that you may have heard from us?
Yeah, so I've grown with obviously a lot of 90s people. So I just want to say a lot of them say that the 80s and 90s, a lot of them say, you know, I'm
80s are better.
Yeah, they're saying that back then, those times were better to live than now, just because you're more, let's say, more outdoor activities and things like that. I'm gonna get into it more throughout the show. But
yeah.
you know, yeah, just
You have a story, like from what you heard, or at least you thought about, like, man, I wish I was there, or I wish I seen that moment, or something like that.
Not that I could think of right now.
Okay. Well, thanks for preparing that one, Yusuf and Ali. I appreciate it. That was just one I was really looking forward to hearing what you had to say. But before Uncle Nash says it, because Uncle Nash, I want you to be the guy that like gives us how it was back in those days, okay? Because like I said, I'm a 90s. I was born in 92. I kind of, you know, you could say somewhat 90s baby, 90s growing up, but I think 2000s is where at least a lot of my experience probably was. Like for you, it was like late 80s, 90s pretty much as well. So for me, though, back in the day, obviously, like Yusuf said, it was a lot more slower motion in terms of like being able to just kick back and enjoy the day where you're hanging out with your friends until nighttime and then you go home. obviously nobody has phones, so you had to talk to each other. You know, you were conversating, having a good time. And I'm not saying it doesn't go on now, but the phones are huge. It's a huge, for sure, a factor into a lot of the stuff that's happening because all of us are on our phones nowadays. But, just a lot more slower. We simple times. You had to watch TV. You had to get news just from the news channels. The shows were limited. You only had like how many channels? What were the channels? 2, 4,
Just your local channels.
7.
Unless you had cable,
Yeah.
then you had extra channels. But
when did cable come?
yeah, cable probably came, I would say, late 80s, maybe early 90s.
Okay. So yeah, we definitely ain't grown up with cable in the first 10, 15 years of my life. I can tell you that. But yeah, man, that's how it kind of was for me, man. Just more of a. I feel like it was more.
Families were more together.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Like it's more together. It was easier times.
A lot easier.
Easier times. So, how about you, Uncle Nash? Can you tell us a little bit about the 80s and 90s, man? So,
I mean, just growing up was so much different than what I see today. I mean, like you said, like the whole part of just going outside, being with your friends, like you're all hanging out together, you're all playing till the street lights come on, you're all street ball, just so much fun. And then you had just growing up in the bad boy era, the Pistons and all that kind of stuff, man. It was really nice. I mean, yeah, you didn't have technology, but at the same time, that was good because it brought everybody together. You watch TV, everyone's watching TV together. Nobody is on their phone. Nobody is doing, anything extra. It's just very good time.
everybody was watching the same thing if you think about it, because like not everybody had cable, so like you go back to school, you'd be like, did you see that? Like everybody's seeing the same thing. Now it's like you got like 500,000 options to see.
Yep.
So many different shows, so many different streaming services, so many different ways of watching shows. What up, Yusuf? You look like you're shaking your head. You guys know you guys can rebuttal off of what's being said.
I do want to say something.
Yeah.
So you say obviously, you said the obvious where things are different now, but I have a question for you. So do you think you're from the like you said 80s and 90s grew up? Do you think people from the 60s and 70s say the same thing about how everything's different?
I'm pretty sure they do.
So would you think that people from the 60s and 70s, would you say that they lived a better life, 80s and 90s?
I would say, I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody, man.
I mean, it's all about preference, though, at the end of the day. Everybody's life's different. Everybody's different. Qamar said, make it happen, Nashty Nash. Cookouts are the best. You got this. Yeah, Uncle Nash over here, folding a little bit. I don't know, man. I don't usually see this out here. Then she said, no, Nash was a street bully. Never forget those times. Oh, Uncle Nash,
Who
man.
said that?
Street bully? You was a street bully out there, man?
No, I wasn't.
No, but he said 80s babies. Yeah, but yeah, man. So, why you laughing? You funny, No, Uncle Nash Uncle Nash is a great guy, man. Uncle Nash is a great guy. But with that said, any comments about what your dad just said, Ali?
What did you say?
About just, how it was those times? Like, do you agree, like, maybe it was back then?
I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, like, it makes more sense because, they're all out, and we're, like, now our generation, we just...
Gaming,
this, and a whole bunch of technology. That's what it is. It's just realistically technology, and back then...
yeah.
Is that a problem, though? Like,
No, I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying that's the
problem.
difference.
It's like you guys are making it sound
I'm not making it a
No,
problem.
it's
I'm
not
saying
a
like
problem.
that was the difference.
It was more simplified back then.
So no technology means more simplified?
I mean, it was just easier on the person. Like now, you got so much technology, you don't know like what to do, what to use, or this and that. I mean, it's just it gets more complicated. Just like let's say,
But wouldn't that make you who you are, though? With the steals and deals, if there's, that would be out the equation.
Hey, we got a caller right now. We got a caller. I think his name is Z. Z, is this Z calling? We are officially live right now, Z. Z,
Hey, man.
how are you, man?
I'm good, bro.
Hey,
How are you?
Our show is about 80s and 90s. I think you a 70s baby, right? So tell us how it was growing up in the 70s, Z.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. Man.
Hey, Z, you are a guy that walks around with old school clothing. So what do you believe? Do you believe that the old school clothes are better than the new school, or the new school is better than old school?
All school, all day, man.
Big old school
Old
guy
school,
here. Big
bro.
old school guy. But anyways, I'm
Yeah.
gonna call you later, Z.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, he's a big old school guy, but that's what my next question is, okay? So basically it's about clothing, okay? So what's one style or article of clothing you wish people these days can have that was from the 80s or 90s? I hope you guys y'all can Google it right now if y'all want to, but look it up and see what kind of clothing it was. I can start it off right quick though. My personally was those starter jackets, and they're starting to make a trend back, but I remember back in the days, those jackets used to be those things.
Really, like leather jackets?
No.
Zach Big
You
General.
know, oh, we got a caller. We got a caller calling in. Here we go. We got a caller calling in. Let's see who we got calling. Who's this calling in?
Little General.
Big General.
Big General. Yo, we got Uncle Nashty Nash on the show. What you gotta say to Uncle Nashty Nash, Big General?
Be careful what you say, because I'll expose the last game we had. But go ahead.
Oh my god.
What was the last game we had?
Hey, Zach, first of all, where you at right now? What's going on?
We in the Miami airport right now.
Miami. Shout out to Miami Airport. We at the Miami Airport. Hey, shout out to Zach. They're coming back from a trip. Inshallah, you guys arrived safely. When is y'all flight leaving?
6, but we in the airport from now.
All right, and when is it arriving?
9.
All right. Well, we got any final comments you want to say, Zach? Any final word?
Hey, Uncle Nash better not be talking crazy in my seat.
He's talking crazy in your seat right now, Zach.
He is?
Yes, recklessly.
Man, it's my seatbelt.
Hey, yell out, Zach. All right, shout out to Zach, Big General. Appreciate the call in. People are calling in right now. Feel free to call in. The number is 313-306-1750. Again, the number is 313-306-1750. So going back to article clothing, starter jackets. Uncle Nash was a mullet guy. All right, was you a mullet guy, Uncle Nash?
No, my hair was too curly for that.
So Uncle Nash, can you tell us what are some clothes that was popping back then or was stylish back then that kind of died out, but you kind of were like, all right, man, you know what? I'll still rock these.
In the 80s, they used to wear Disney characters and like Bugs Bunny characters and all
You want
that.
to speak up too? I want to make sure they hear you. Uncle.
Disney and Bugs Bunny characters on their
Yeah.
baggy hoodies and baggy sweaters. But I would say with the 90s, it was more like cross-color damaged jeans, or that's the brand, damaged jeans. Troops, the shoes Troops, 8-ball jackets. Like, there's a bunch of...
You're bringing back memories right now.
They're looking at me crazy right
Yeah.
now. But no, that's how it was, man. That was, if you had those, you were doing good, or a drug dealer.
That's funny.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff. Like, now they tried bringing it back out, but I mean, it didn't do too good. But those were the days. Very good clothes.
Yeah. Yusuf, what are you about to say, Yusuf? Because I see you Google some stuff. Go ahead.
I'm just looking at starter jackets, and there's nothing special about them.
I like them.
It's just.
I mean, I like them. It was just.
I mean, I could see.
They're
I
like
could see how-
bomber jackets almost.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
I can see
Yeah,
how
the
certain
sports
type of
teams.
clothing can be like a like a trend or something,
Yeah.
and a lot of people can wear it.
Yeah.
But I also have a question. So you said like the 80s and 90s, like just in Michigan, how was it, back in Yemen, if you were to remember?
I mean, I came here. I was 1 year old. I don't know Yemen back then.
I'm just saying, bro.
All right, Yusuf, I see you right there. Yusuf throwing jabs right now.
I have a question. Was like bucket hats like big?
Yes.
Really?
LL Cool J, the Kango hats, the bucket.
Oh, Nash. What are you talking about? LL Cool J. Can't go kill over here, Uncle Nash. I better watch out. So I have to scrape.
But I didn't start wearing those until
Tony.
in the 2000s, like
Yeah.
early 2000s. But now you had like the rap people, Run DMC, LL Cool J, and all of them. They used to all wear those Kango bucket hats and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then Qamar said, I agree with Nash. We are living in different times. So much distractions with our youth. The back in the day was much more exploration. We learned life with viewing without our senses, alhamdulillah. So yeah, for sure, it was definitely a lot more simpler times. I think that we can all agree on. Your thoughts on what's being said about clothes and stuff so far?
I mean, I was just gonna like point out clothes like just in general. Like I was gonna say like jerseys and stuff like that.
Jerseys were hip.
Yeah, I was gonna say jerseys.
2000s too, like it was hip, but like last 5-10 years, people don't wear jerseys.
Not like they used to.
Yeah, man, people used to rock jerseys like as a statement. like going to places, people used to rock jerseys.
Go-
I mean, everything changes though, man.
Yeah, everything like yeah.
People don't wear,
People don't wear jerseys no more.
And then the way they wear them now too. From before it was cool to wear something baggy,
Yeah.
big.
I was
Now
gonna
if
say,
it's
yeah,
not
like-
fitted, it's like you look silly wearing it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, baggy is one trend that used to be
I was gonna
definitely
say, like,
hip back then.
Baggy clothes.
Baggy
jeans,
clothes.
Boots.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. How about moving from clothes to shows, or even movies, or anything that you want to say from the 80s and 90s? Shows, movies, anything like that. Uncle Nash, I don't think we've actually started with you yet. So what's a show, movie, shows? Don't have to be one.
One show that stands out that I could probably still watch to this day, In Living Color.
For real?
That was probably one of my best shows.
A lot of people like that show, actually. A lot of people, I've never watched it, but people always talk about In Living Color.
never heard about it.
In Living Color was crazy. I mean, that's where Jamie Foxx was found on that.
On that show?
Jennifer Lopez, she was one of the fly girls, like the dancers
What
in
year?
the background.
For real?
Yeah,
you remember what
she
year?
started off on In Living Color, and that was I believe late 80s, early 90s. In Living Color came out around the time Martin and all that stuff was out too.
Okay.
But
That's what I was going to say. Like, 90s to me reminds me of Martin, it reminds me of the Wayne Bros, and it reminds me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, bro.
yeah, the Wayne brothers started it off. They that was their show.
Nice.
Jim Carrey was on the show. He was
Nice.
Fire Marshal Bill and all that stuff.
Man, they had a deep cast.
They had a huge deep cast. yes.
Whoa!
They're like all like rookies at the time. right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were all young
That's
kids
crazy.
at that time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for me. That's my shows. That's where I was gonna go. You can't forget. I was a kid, so Power Rangers were big back then, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
Power Rangers were huge. You had people picking their favorite colors of who their favorite Power Ranger was. I feel like Power Rangers were like the superhero at that time.
That was more 90s though.
Yeah, that's more
80s, you
90s.
had the WWF cartoon. You had He-Man. You had
What about Bugs Bunny?
yeah. That was man. That's never,
Bugs Bunny's been on for a while.
That's,
Came out.
that's never gonna die.
Why y'all not talking about SpongeBob, man?
SpongeBob was 2000s.
2000s, man.
He definitely held it down for the 2000s for sure. But SpongeBob, I think he started like 99.
Even with the
2000.
cartoons
was 90.
back then and now.
What about
these cartoons
I
are
got
so
one. I got
whack.
one.
I definitely agree.
What about Back to the Future?
That's
the movie?
that's a classic show.
Is that
I
what
put it up
80s?
there.
That's 80s, right?
It took place in the
You
80s,
Googled
but
that. Tell
okay.
truth. Did you Google that, boy?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I don't know if you've watched it before. That I think it's still great to this day from the quality back then.
I know. Yeah, it was not bad,
I
bro.
would say The Godfather.
God, I actually
watched
never watched the whole movie. I've seen clips, but never watched the whole movie.
Bro, it's top 5 in my book, man. It came out, I believe, like in the '76.
Yeah, and then you got
Crazy.
Scarface. You got a whole bunch of
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
movies that came out back
There are
then.
definitely a lot of movies back then that that still can be watched till today, But overall, though, how about Space Jam, the original one?
Yeah.
With the greatest of all time, Jordan.
The original Space Jam to me was for sure. It's always going to be a legendary
LeBron
movie.
did against the Bucks, last night.
What do you do?
Oh.
Nobody really watches them like that no more.
There you go. There you go. All right, we're going to keep it rolling. Feel free to comment. You got any comments, anything you guys want to say, feel free to shout it out. Again, the number is 313-306-1750 if you want to call in. All right, with that said, we're going to keep it rolling. So, what's one thing that makes you wish that you can go back to the 80s and 90s, Yusuf? I don't think I've started with you yet. One thing that you'd be like, all right, I'm going to be honest with you. There is one thing that I'd be like, I wish I was there during this time. And what is that, Yusuf? Can you let us know what do you think that would be? Or what is that?
Yeah. So based off you guys' answers, I do want to, see how it was without technology as much. But also, I'm a huge fan of, old style cars, like muscle cars and all that. I've always wanted to, experience that. When we went to Flint that one day, we saw that orange. I forgot what it was again. That orange car. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. It was at Mo's house or something.
At whose house?
Mo's house. It was like an orange muscle type of car. It was beautiful. And then
Oh, that was Chevy Camaro.
Chevy Camaro, whatever. But things like that, man, I want to, experience, also not just, not just without technology and things like that, but also, how the schools were back then, how they taught from then and now. Because I feel like a lot of people
Chalkboard.
not just chalkboard. I still have chalkboards now, but I'm saying it was way more, I don't want to say easier, but less complicated.
I've never seen a chalkboard a day in my life.
Don't lie. That's
Never.
crazy.
No.
There you
I've
guys
never
go.
seen one.
He never seen a chalkboard a day in his life. That's when you know you're
Like,
like,
what was it? Was it annoying?
Chalkboard?
You can scratch on it, and that was the annoying part.
that kind of stuff messes with me. Like it does mess with me. But chalkboard.
Saying,
that's
like, writing on it and stuff. I heard one of my
Yeah.
teachers, I asked him the same question. There was like the only fun part was like taking the white part and just like, and then
That was not fun.
But how to clean the chalkboard? You get a sponge and just
Yeah.
wipe it all off. That was crazy.
That's crazy.
I used to get punished, and I have to wipe the thing down when I was a kid.
Cleveland Middle School and Persian High School had the clean chalkboards all because of Uncle Nash.
you got room.
No, but Yusuf basically mentioned how cars is one of the reasons why he would like to go back in the day. Ali, I'm gonna let you go ahead and answer this one. Why would you want to go back to the 80s and 90s, or what's one thing that makes you say you want to go back?
It's kind of similar to Yusuf said. Just going back and being around like without technology. That's really it. Cause I mean, like when I was little too, like I would be outside more.
I was just about to follow on that. I was saying, like, growing up, we were active 100%. Playing
Yeah, I
outside
know.
the backyard.
Yeah, we were always playing and stuff. Like we would always go to his house, or Ahmad might pick us up when we
Yeah,
were
you guys
younger.
were lucky. I was gonna say you guys are not like everybody else. You guys are somewhat still decent with the playing stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys got to think about the average human being that your friends, for example. Like, look at your classrooms back in the day, and who would, out of how many people would actually do the stuff that you guys were doing? It's probably like 3 of them out of the 25 or whatever it is. You know, you guys were still somewhat active. You guys had a great situation with Moti's backyard. You guys used to play every single day. I used to come there at least twice a week. You know what I mean? So, like, it was a good situation for you guys, but the average human being that is your age you guys are the iPad kids, I feel like. Y'all the beginning of the iPads, the technology, the video games, because y'all had iPads growing up, so.
I mean, we had video games also, but not like today where you're online playing with millions
I
of
was
people.
gonna say,
and
when
stuff
we started
like
growing up, that's when the iPhone came out. Everyone grew up on that.
Yeah.
And more Apple products. So I do think it's not the generation's fault. I just think it's, just.
Obviously, it's not your fault. It's definitely not your fault. It's definitely society's fault. And if it's anybody to blame, to be honest with you, it's us, the people that were, here before you guys, because we're the ones that kind of like let all this stuff kind of happen.
We also had a cartoon that predicted the future.
The Simpsons.
That's
No,
crazy.
not the Simpsons.
Oh, who is it? Oh,
The Jetsons.
the Jetsons.
They had flying cars.
what did
They
they
had all
predict?
that stuff.
Yeah,
They had the cell phones and all that back then.
they did. They
It
did.
was crazy.
You could Google them, Jetsons. All right. Me. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, just one of the characters looked like you. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. One thing that I would like to bring back, believe it or not, is the style of play in sports. Okay. 80s and 90s. I know this throws you guys off. First of all, 90s was the last time Lions won the playoffs. 1991, by the way. The Lions won a playoff game 1991, right before I was born. So I have never literally seen a Lions win a playoff game. Okay. Jordan. That's when Jordan took over 90s. But the style of play, like NBA on NBC, like people used to look forward to that game. Now, like on ESPN, they play the primetime games. Like I don't care about any of the primetime games that pretty much come out like that. You know what I mean? Like if I catch, I catch. If I don't, I don't. NBA on NBC is like you had to watch it, even if it was Sacramento against Memphis or Vancouver Grizzlies. It was great. It was slower pace. Like we were talking about, this was an 04 when the Pistons held teams under 90 points. Now teams get 90 almost at halftime. Third quarter, they for sure at 90. You know what I mean? They're putting up 130, 140 a game. To me personally, I'm not the kind of person that kind of likes those kind of games. I like a more, tougher, it's harder to score. When you score, you earn it kind of game. Football, too, like people say it's softer. Don't get me wrong. It's very safer. It is. But it's unfortunate because those hits were part of football, man. Now, anytime you see a big hit, it's automatically a flag. The question is, are you ejected or not? So, it sucks because it's safer, but I do miss that old school style of playing.
It kills the gameplay a little bit, though.
It does.
So,
It definitely does.
And
Now-
what? And the flags for the hits?
I mean, like even in like how we used to play football in the streets, we'd play tackle with nothing on. I don't see that today.
I've done that.
It's more flag than anything.
Yeah.
That's for the
two-hand touch.
I've never seen a group of kids play tackle football
I have,
in a
bro.
long time.
Since we played.
Bro,
Yeah, I
chill
have
out,
not
chill out,
seen
chill
that.
out, chill out, bro. That's lie, bro.
This is nothing over here, bro.
Right, bro.
Wow.
We've done that.
When
I've
did you
done
play
that.
tackle football?
I have done that with the Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? They would come to the field that's across our street, and we'd play football over there.
My
We'd
man,
play tackle.
he played
He's
against.
playing with small
Yeah, it was in third grade.
AU's
no, I'm not.
size
No, I'm
kids,
not. I was
man.
like,
He was the quarterback. He was the artificial
bro,
quarterback.
I was definitely not the artificial quarterback. It was one of my friends' older brothers, bro. No, but for real, we actually
All right.
played like
From that one time, when was the last time you played before that? Be real.
tackle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We used to play once a week at least, probably.
Every weekend we'd have a team.
Yeah.
My man, so if I were to tell Umar, let's play tackle football, he wouldn't say let's do it.
Of course I wouldn't. I'm
why are you saying
injured.
that?
Because we
I'm saying
feel
us.
you guys are not
You wouldn't be the
as
quarterback.
tough as we
I would be
are.
the quarterback all day. We've done it already. I proved it to you guys. When y'all set up that one game, I came in and I was a quarterback.
Like
I
tackle football, you wouldn't improve on that.
Huh?
You wouldn't improve us playing tackle football, right?
Approve?
Like you wouldn't allow us to play tackle football?
Oh, for your friends, why would I care?
Because normally you would say tackle football. No, I don't want to get you guys hurt. So I'm trying to say
Are you
that.
referring to like when he does his events like the flag football and stuff like that? But
Hey, what are you
making
referring to right now?
making
When
it
was the last
tackle?
time we ever even talked about football and playing
Let's say like the Hanley game we played at.
in the gym?
Yeah.
I would not want that to
I
be.
would think
Yeah.
nobody would agree to do
Yeah.
tackle football now.
That's a different
In
situation.
today's game.
Yeah, but you,
That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
What?
I agree with him. But no, you texting your friends, let's go play tackle football. You do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Man, you better get your steak
You
about
just brought up
man.
the Hanley game.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
saying
You,
because if he's
Geef. Right now we had
if
the.
he's in the room, he would not like. Let's say let's play tackle football. He would not say I'm down.
Of course I wouldn't.
I'm saying if
I
you're
wouldn't.
a quarterback. You would not be a quarterback if we were to play tackle football.
That's not true, Yusuf. You played that game against Al-Qusri. What do you think that was?
That was flag.
No, it wasn't.
What?
When y'all played against Qusri, was it flat?
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna let them because it was adults, Uncle Nash. They're all under 18. That's why. This was 2 years ago.
Nobody wants to hurt.
Yeah,
you.
like why would I want him to play football? You don't. What I'm trying to say is you
That's
don't
my
need
exact
me.
point. You said nobody wants to hurt anybody, so why would
Nobody
we play
wants to
tackle
hurt
football?
you guys.
No.
You guys are the future.
Was it really flagged that one time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys. It was. I mean, it was a lot of scoring. That makes sense. It was a lot of scoring. That makes sense. Here we go. Khaled Tab, a question. What's considered the better teams and players, 80s, 90s, or 2010s, 2020s? Okay, so better teams consisted of better teams and players, 80s and 90s, or 2010s, 2020s. I'm not gonna lie to you. From what I said, you probably would think I'd say 80s and 90s. Nash is probably gonna disagree with me, but I think now is way better athletes.
Well, they're very more athletic. than
Yeah.
Today's game.
They are.
You know, like with the moves and stuff like that. But it was just more hardcore back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I agree. And it was just rougher. It was rougher to score. It was not easy. Defense was the key to everything. I mean, defense is still now important, but it's not as important. But I definitely agree that 2010s, 2020s, now there's better teams, there's better athletes.
You think the defense back then would be able to stop the offense today? Since you say like they have more moves and stuff like that.
Absolutely not.
Depends on the team.
Depends on the team.
It depends on the style of play, too, because you can't play the way they used to play in the 80s and 90s now.
The worst team in the NBA. What's the worst team right now? I mean, the Pistons, right? The record-wise.
Yeah.
So would they beat the?
They beat the worst team in the NBA in the 80s and 90s for sure, because Pistons are more
No,
athletic.
I'm saying would they have beat the '90s Bulls?
No.
No.
That's crazy, bro.
Are you crazy?
Saying with a full healthy.
The 90s Bulls would be the #1 seed in both leagues right now because of how they were built as a team, and maybe only the Boston Celtics the only team that's out there right now to me in the NBA. Even the Bucks look like they're vulnerable a little bit too.
Why?
I mean, just vulnerable a little bit.
Record, bro.
No, they don't. But the Celtics do.
Celtics number one, right?
Yeah, like to me, Celtics, because the West is weak to me this year. You got the Suns #1, but they're trash to me. They're not going far. And the East, you got the Bucks and Celtics to me. Like to me, the Bulls will jump right in and be one of the best teams in the NBA, easily. Because of how they are as a team. I mean, dude.
Is they saying the Bucks will lose to the Bulls?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I think Dennis Rodman will get in Giannis's head.
I mean, you got Michael Jordan, guys. You guys gotta forget about it. You got Michael Jordan. Like,
I understand Michael Jordan is nice, but he's not nice like that. I feel like Jordan and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
but see, I'm giving the Bulls the heads up, but I'll probably give this year's teams. The next 6 teams will probably go to the 2022 teams. You know what I mean? So you got the Bucks, you got Celtics, you got Suns. To me, better than any of those teams that were in the 90s. I'm sorry, Uncle Nash. Those Utah Jazz was not good teams, bro. They were solid. They ain't built to be beating these teams these days.
Which team are you talking about?
Give me another teams during Jordan's runs that were. Go ahead. Give me some of the competitive teams.
The competitors, you had Phoenix, you had Seattle.
They ain't banging out like that.
What are you talking about?
They'd be 4 or 5 seeds over here in this league. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
For real.
See, that's the thing. Like, that's great. Oh, yeah, okay. I would agree 4 or 5 seeds.
Yeah.
You're saying that they're not going to be in it at all.
Oh, they'll be in it. No, I did not say that.
Yeah,
They'd
no,
be
that
5,
I-
6 seeds.
That I agree.
Yeah.
But Bulls will be up there.
No, Bulls will be up there for sure. I think they'll be a top 3 team easily right now. Because the NBA right now, let's be real, like, even Boston being the number 1 team, like, they ain't really proved much. I mean, they went to the finals, but they haven't won yet.
Bro,
You know?
Shit, even New York. New York was a good team back then.
Yeah, New York will be an 8 seed, struggling to get in the playoffs if they was out here.
No, they had.
I think
they
New
had-
York
they
today
had
is
a
better
lot
than
of
back then.
toughness. They had a lot of toughness and a lot of grit.
look at the
right.
bench is loaded.
Tom and Jerry, Family Matters, Tia and Tamara. Yeah, Tom and Jerry is legendary, by the way, man. If we're
That used to be my favorite show.
yeah,
bro.
top 5 cartoons, Tom and Jerry's on there, and I think probably top 3 is in there, man, because Tom and Jerry is legendary. How do you think MJ would be in the current days NBA? Said Khaled.
on
Shout out to
Popeye,
Khaled.
bro.
All right. Huh?
Dominating.
He would not be dominating.
Dominating.
MJ
He would be top 50 player, but he wouldn't be dominating.
MJ would be.
So you tell me
He'd be the league's leading scorer.
The scary
lie,
thing is,
bro.
believe it or not, here we go. Y'all ready for this crazy take? MJ would probably be more talked about as the best player in NBA if he was playing now than if he was playing in the 90s.
why?
Because his
There is
skill
no-
set would have been dominating this league. Listen, guys, I'm a believer that LeBron James, it's not even fair to compare because LeBron James was just built differently. He got so many things going on for him.
Doesn't have a 3.
You know what I'm saying? But he would develop that. He's a worker, Yusuf.
He developed
guy-
that later in his career. He
He's
did.
saying
Because he would have because nobody in the NBA was really shooting him like that. Is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Now everybody's shooting. You think MJ would have not been in the gym one summer and said, "Yo, everybody's
so,
doing
then,
this." I
so
would have
don't
been that.
complain when you say you don't like the NBA now because they're scoring too many points. They call that's how it works. Everything changes.
So imagine if the threes were played back then. How much do you think Jordan would have averaged then? He's averaging what he's averaging now, not shooting the 3 like that.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
more than what they're doing right now. So
the defenders back then were no good compared to now.
That's true. That's true,
Some-
Uncle Nash.
some.
Like that's where you could agree because I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that-
at the
that's
end of
not
the day, you
debatable.
gotta look at MJ, the player. Like there's a reason why they call him the best. So putting him in this environment, I think he would have thrived even more, which would have made the discussion even more towards his favor. But I don't know if he wins 6 championships, Uncle Nash. That's
No
why
way,
I don't see that happening in this
Nobody
league.
in the NBA is winning the 6 championships.
Individually, I think MJ would have way more accolades. But yes, because the competition is so much more tougher now that I don't think MJ would have won 6, maybe 3 or 4. You know?
that's still good.
So
And
I
that's
you know,
without a super team.
yeah, if he would have jumped on the super team, you guys gotta know that MJ was a killer instant. Like he was a killer. He was the killer of all. Like he didn't care. He was gonna do what it takes to win.
How was he in high school? Man?
When you got that kind of instinct, I don't
He
care
got
what.
cut.
You put him in the 40s, you put him in the.
How'd he
you
go
know,
to North
He's
Carolina?
gonna make it happen.
He got drafted. He got picked up.
You know what I'm saying? With that said, thank you for these questions. They're great discussions. Here we go. Jordan was also shooting 30+ shots a game. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah,
Who said that?
that's Cal. Shout to Cal. Cuzzo Cal. Cuzzo Cal. All right. With that said, we were gonna give a shout out to our second sponsor. What was that?
How LeBron be in MJ's era?
Oh, LeBron would have been killing y'all, man. Nash, LeBron and MJ's era. Like just how I said, MJ would have done a better job maybe in this era. LeBron would have been.
LeBron's a stronger Magic.
LeBron
Johnson.
would have been torturing
But that
league,
can shoot.
If he would have brought his gameplay, like his,
LeBron
his-
probably
if he brought his antics with him to the 80s,
But he
90s,
wouldn't.
he-
He's
okay.
adapting to this situation,
What are
man.
you talking about?
This generation, you know how it is. That's just what they do. Because LeBron would have
What,
adapted.
and what? And, like, what do you mean by antics?
his flopping
He
skills.
doesn't
Yeah.
be flopping, bro. You
Flopping-
act
well,
like, act
flopping
like
was a
his
trend.
game is
They
flopping.
got a 20-minute YouTube video on him flopping.
Listen, man.
But flopping is a trend. That's why I'm telling you it's a trend. Like it's this flopping never happened in the 90s.
No, you can't do that. 'Cause if you
80s.
fell, you really fell.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But long story short, LeBron, you know, he's 37 right now.
LeBron would have
putting up
averaged
crazy
40,
numbers.
17, and 13 in the back in the day.
He's the
That-
best driver in the history of NBA.
No, he wasn't going to do that much.
40.
Because he would have got injured.
He rarely gets hurt, man. He works on himself every year, man.
Uncle Nash was like, somebody would have took him out. They ain't gonna let him
They
do
would
that.
have took him out.
Fight.
Flat out. That's what they would. That's
many-
funny.
I saw so many fights.
That's funny, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, back-
That's
Hey, do,
crazy.
do you think Ben
Actual
Wallace,
fights.
Do you think Ben Wallace would be
Like,
up there
fist fights,
this
bro.
in this generation?
No.
No. Okay.
Like in the league today?
Do you think he'll be a top 10 center?
No. I don't think he
That's a random question, man.
Just asking.
Okay. Do you think Tayshaun Prince? All right, here we go. Listen, so basically, we are talking about 80s and 90s. This is a good conversation, good questions right now. I want to give a shout out to our second sponsor before we get going, and that's Hanley International Academy. Hanley is a school that treats every student and staff like their own family. It's even in their vision statement, educating your child like our own. The athletics there are great. The academics there are great. Shout out to the whole staff for being great teachers and educators for our leaders of tomorrow. Shout out to the admin team. Shout out to the, like I said, the whole staff, honestly. Shout out to the custodial staff, the lunch staff, too. We appreciate them over there, man. It's really a team environment over there at Hanley. If you want to sign your kid up, the number is 313-875-8888. Location 2400 Denton Street, Hamtramck, Michigan. All these fellas went to Hanley, graduated from Hanley, or got promoted from Hanley. I work at Hanley, so, you know, if you enjoy our company, then you should definitely have your kids come to Hanley. With that said, we are now going to do the questions game, okay? Not gonna lie, these questions are gonna favor Nash a little bit.
See what I'm saying?
But just know you guys should know all the answers. Just want to throw that out there. It's just a matter of who's gonna answer them first. I didn't bring the buzzer out. Should we get the buzzers or just raise your hand? What are we gonna do?
Raise your hand.
Because everybody's individual
I'll
today.
go bring them out right now, bro.
You go bring them out?
No, just raise your hand.
How you guys gonna
It's
tap
only-
'em?
It's only 3 of us.
Yeah, it's alright. Just raise your hand. So my point is that it's individual score today. All right. Usually we have teams as Ali and Yusuf versus Zach and Hamza. You know, but Zach, Hamza, and Ramsey are not here today. Yusuf and Ali are on each other's team, so it didn't make sense to have them play against each other. So we're gonna basically do individuals, and the score will not be kept count because they do keep count, by the way.
I mean, I wanted a handicap match, but it's okay. They're young.
They're young.
They don't know about that from back in the 80s.
Handicap.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
You know, back in WWF era, man, they used to have handicap matches.
Never watched fake wrestling.
That
Never at all. It's actually it's
That was actually huge in
sports-
the 80s and
sports
90s, bro.
entertainment, okay?
Yeah.
It's not fake wrestling.
All right. With that said, here we go. First question. You guys gotta wait till y'all gonna argue. Y'all gonna
Oh, we
argue.
can see it right here, bro.
All right, I can see it right here. Wait until the question is done, Uncle Nash. That's the rule. All right. Wait until the question is done. All right. Let me see. Yusuf just lifted his hand. It's gonna be really late. Yusuf, Ali just showed right now that you said you're gonna argue, and Yusuf just lifted his hand out. All right. Here we go. First question. What decade was it when MJ took over with 6 championships?
That was me all day.
Yeah, but
He
you-
raised his hand before the question was not.
No, Uncle Nash, man.
I knew the answer already.
Yeah,
I said you
Finish.
can't raise your hand.
See,
to
look.
the questions end, man. That's funny as heck. That's funny as heck.
I mean, if
Ali,
I
go
lost, I
ahead.
lost. Go ahead.
90s.
90s, correct. Say the answer, please. Mention in the microphone. Let them
90s.
know. 90s is correct. 1-0-0 so far. I still is the first point.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. I need right now is Japan in the World Cup right now. They still the first game. Here we go. Number 2.
World Cup, man. Let me check if Argentina.
Here we go. You ready? You guys gotta wait till the question ends, bro. Superhero show that had people dressed up that were in red, yellow, pink, blue, green, black, and white. What is the show? Yusuf.
Power Rangers, man.
Power Rangers.
I knew
man.
that, but you beat me. What am I gonna do?
Power Rangers.
I'm trying to be respectful. Like, you know,
All right, here we
I
go.
saw you beat me, so
Oh,
what's
that's
the
a
point
big
of
point
it?
right here. This is a
That's
big point.
2.
I know. One more.
No, you gotta be up 2-0. That's
How are you up?
Me, Ali.
I ain't trying to see. I need individual. It's individual, man.
Go ahead.
1-1-0. Here we go.
What the? Okay.
The last Detroit playoff Lions win was in what year? Nash.
No, get out of here, man.
Watch it. Watch it. Here we go. Replay.
That's me. 91.
91. Oh,
Hey, look,
man.
hey, we all raised our hands up
I
at the same
got a
time.
tie. I gotta come up with a question. I only have 3 questions, man. I usually got an odd number. So here we go. I gotta come up with a question right quick, all right? Here we go. Are you ready? All right. Dang, man, I gotta come up with a question that you guys all know.
Oh, see.
All right.
What's it called?
What is
Tell
it?
us when you know.
When I know the question?
Yeah,
All
don't
right,
just say it.
I don't gotta do it right now, all right? Don't put no pressure on me right now because I'm.
Is it going to be referring to the 80s and 90s still?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to refer to the 80s and 90s. The next topic that we do have is before bars / word of the day. So what we usually do is we come up with a word, the definition of it, and try to spit out some bars. You know what I'm saying? If they do have it. If not, they can put the word in a sentence. Anybody here got a bar? Uncle Nash, no? Or yeah? No? Adi? Yusuf or Adi? No? And no.
I got sense.
So go ahead, Adi. You can start us off with the sentence while I get my bars ready and also try to come up with that last question.
All right. All right. So luddite. Luddite. So luddite. I was gonna say.
I'm sorry, I should probably read off the definition.
Yeah.
All right, luddite refers to someone who is opposed to change, and especially to technology change or technological change. All right, so that's what luddite means. Someone who is opposed to change, especially to technological change.
I was gonna say, the kids today are luddite to the kids back then.
Okay. So today they don't want to change to the people that are
Yes.
that they used to be.
Yeah.
You want to explain it further? Give us an example.
I mean, video games. A lot of people are on, their phones and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. All right. Yusuf Tabit. Luddite.
Luddite, it says refers to someone who's opposed to change.
Yeah.
So is that someone who's against change?
Yeah.
You gotta come back with me.
Uncle Nash.
As far as a definition? Or
Yeah,
something?
you are. I guess a situation, anything like
A
that.
situation, it can be to where, like, workers can always be opposed to, like, changing their workplace and stuff like that. Although it's better for the business-wise, the employees are not going to agree with the change. As far as, like, I think I was giving you the example as far as, like, when where I work, it's they laid off so many people and had to fire people because they wanted to bring in more robots. Because it was the future. They wanted to up their technology, but to do that, they had to let people go.
Dang, bro.
Some of the employees that was lucky enough to stay there was opposed to that because they didn't want to see someone getting, laid off or fired, put on the street just because they wanted to bring robots in. But if you look at it business-wise, they're going to do what they got to do to save money and cut cost.
I like that. Great use of the word and that definition as well. Yusuf, do you have anything or no?
Yeah, I could say, I could bring, since the election was like a little past, I could bring something to that. Like politic-wise, America's, a lot of governors were Republican. I feel like they want to keep it like the way and be luddite and, stop with the change and everything like that. So I do believe Donald Trump will win in 2024. So I think more Republicans will join, and I think they'll keep it like that and not try to change anything.
Okay. I see what you're saying. That was threw a curveball over there on us right there, but I understood what he was trying to say. Shout out to Yusuf, all right?
But if you can't re-elect if you've already done it.
What do you mean?
He can't re-elect.
You can He didn't do 8 years.
Yeah.
I thought you could only serve as one. I mean, I know you could do 8 years, but I thought you had to
do
be
it back to back?
Yeah.
No, I guess not. I guess not, because he's running. All right, here we go. 4 bars, which is 6 lines, by the way, for me. A part of me wish we were all still luddite. Life used to be simple. It felt just right. We used to kick it till sundown with family and friends, enjoying our summer days, wishing the moments would never end. No phones in sight, just good times and smiles. Man, I miss those days when we used to chill on 6 Mile.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a round of applause, bro.
Simple.
Rams.
Simple. You know what I'm saying? Shot Ramsey. No, he's in Miami. He's in Miami, all right?
Miami.
So here we go. Final question. Are you guys ready? It's a very simple one. It's just to break the tie. It's just to break the tie. So I'm letting you know it's very simple. Okay? I couldn't really think too much ahead. All right? Michael Jordan's sidekick was who? I'm going to look at the TV.
No, he got it, but that was the dumbest question, bro. He clearly got it. I thought it was gonna be more to the question.
Nashty Nash steals and deals.
For the win, Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen got the W. It's 2-1-1. Questions game. Uncle Nash takes home the victory. Shout out to Uncle Nash. Now, with that said, I just want to quickly say before we close out the show, Uncle Nash will give us some weekend motivation. Uncle Nash definitely gives us quotes on social media. Shout out to Uncle Nash. But, you know, Uncle Nash is ready to give us another quote to send us off for the weekend. Before I do that, again, this was Season 2, Episode 11 of the Movement Podcast. Today was about 80s and 90s. That was the topic. Be sure to subscribe to our pages, YouTube, Oz Media, Apple and Spotify podcasts. You can listen to the show later under Oz Media. You know, Facebook and Instagram is Motivate Me 313. TikTok is Oz Media. And then you can call in 313-306-1750 for future reference. Shout out to our sponsors, Balkan House, Hanley, Kahwa House, and BC Adhesives. We appreciate them as well. Uncle Nash, we appreciate you for being here today. Can you tell us?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. What's up with some weekend motivation, Uncle Nash?
Weekend motivation, I would say, usually when I think of these kind of things or read up on them, it always has to do with the kids, children, nephews, you know, nieces and all that. But pretty much what kills your dreams more than failure?
Fear.
Fear. So your fear will kill your dreams more than your failure ever will. So don't ever worry about failing. Get up, do it again. But when you're scared to do something, that's when your dreams pretty much go away.
Uncle Nash. Look at Uncle Nash with the quote. Ali over here listening.
Oh, I didn't. Love machine.
Love machine. Shout out to Uncle Nash. We appreciate him. Got to make sure you go. End quote. That was the end quote right there.
End quote.
All right.
End quote.
Shout out to Uncle Nash. And Uncle Nash, any final words, man? Any final comments? I mean, I know you had the weekend motivation, but anything else you want to say?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me here, man. I always like, this is my first time in the new set. Looks nice, beautiful, mashallah. And I'm looking for a cook-off whenever you're ready. Boom.
Oh, I'm
calling you out.
Oh.
Live.
Wow. What are y'all cooking?
Whatever you want. I'll
Oh.
make it easier for him. Let him decide what he wants. A boom Philly, chicken sandwich, whatever you want to do, just tell me. I got you.
Boom. Boom. You got to do it, boom. Stop playing around, boom. He just called you out. Ali, Yusuf, any final words, Ali?
You know they say when they poke the bear too much, the bear end up biting them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he be doing. He just
Boom.
keeps trying to poke me. But I could try to stop, Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. But he keeps trying to.
Hey. All right, boom.
All right.
You're gonna have to stand up now. You're gonna have to do something right now, boom. We're gonna have to make something happen. Yusuf, anything you want to close it out with?
No, it's always a great show when we have Movement Podcast, and obviously we had a great guest. Thank you for coming, Uncle Nash.
Thank you.
Ali, it was good seeing you back again, and it was so far it's been great.
All right, Yusuf, any chance, please, you can go ahead and get us ready to shut us off. We appreciate that. Again, thank you guys all for that was watching. This was Season 2, Episode 11 of The Movement.
The movement.
The movement.
I went a little too fast.